Hey there, how's everyone doing? Foxy Fern here, and how about let's play some Cook Serve Delicious? And we will do standard difficulty for sure. So this is just going to give us a basic rundown of how the game works. We won't get too much into details here, so we got our hot dog here, put on some ketchup and mustard, and boom, there you go. Got our different perfect, average, and bad orders. Pretty self-explanatory. Oh, it's telling us we can use our mouse. Put the mustard there. But who wants to use a mouse? Because key bindings are where it's at. One meat patty. So we gotta sit here and wait for it to cook a little bit. Oh, click to continue. And then once our meat is done cooking, we throw the meat on there. Put on our food, all that is desired there. And there we have it. There is our order. And this is just explaining our different stages of cooking. We have a raw, where it's waiting to cook. The blue means that it is done and ready to be prepped. Yellow means it is good to go for the customer and give us our money. And burn is we did not do a very good job. Alright. Get us our pretzel. Oh, this is telling us that we only have a certain amount of time before our orders go away, and wah wah, we just got a bad order. I wouldn't have gotten the bad order if the game would just let me have done it, but tutorials, schmutorials. Alright, just explaining, we have our inbox here where we get our emails on a daily basis. Sometimes it's junk mail, sometimes it's important stuff. And we have our food menu where we get to choose what we want to serve during the day, and our page with our upgrades. So we're just gonna go ahead and skip through all this. And good luck on your opening day. Well, thank you, Chef Risotto. That is very nice of you to wish us well. So let's go ahead and see what we want to buy today. We have $7,500. First off, beer is something I always love to have on my menu because it's super easy to make and people tip you for it, and it makes a pretty good amount of money. And we'll do salad because those are also a great thing. And just to give you a little rundown, these green circles here will tell you the benefits that each food has, and the red circles will be the negative. So for instance, salad will always be good to have on your menu. It will never go rotten, and rotten being people will get tired of that food being on the menu and they want there to be something new each day. So you can only have certain foods on your menu for 2 days in a row before it's considered rotten. But salad is one of those that will always be considered fresh, because who doesn't love to have a salad for their lunch, right? And this is also for the health nuts, people who want to eat healthy. That's going to generate extra buzz for a restaurant. And the buzz, as you can see up here, is basically our popularity and how much people want to come to our restaurant. And so the more positives you have on here, the more buzz you're going to have, the more orders you'll deliver every day, and so on and so forth. So to-go food, which will be later on in our game. And then the negative side is that this food creates a lot of trash, so you do have some daily chores where you have to take care of trash and dishes and rats and bathrooms and all that good stuff. So we're gonna go ahead and buy the salad. And we need to have at least 4 on our menu. We're gonna do a fish because they're super easy to make and also make a lot of money for us. And let's go with the pretzel. Now the downside of the pretzel is it's considered a munchie, so people will not purchase it during rush hour, but that's okay, especially for starting out. Now, just gotta throw these things on our menu here. And let's go ahead and see how our first day goes. Kids Delight, ranch and cheese. Nice and simple, nothing special to that. The dry twister, nothing on it. That sounds very bland, Mr. Lumberjack. I don't know why you would want that. So here we have our fish. We gotta cut the head, cut the body, cut the tail, and then just press enter to cook. Very, very simple, and once you get used to it, you can do it really quickly. flush our toilet because for whatever reason, people in our restaurant do not know how to flush the toilet. So we just press 1 to... Oh! I messed that up. I cannot believe that. My first day, and I failed. Cheesy Leaves is the same thing as Kids Delight, for some reason. I don't know why they decided to have 2 different recipes for the same ingredients, but there you have it. So what did I do wrong? Cut the head, cut the body, cut the tail. Oh, I didn't season it. That's what I did. It's actually easier when I'm not thinking about it. So, ranch, cheese, mushrooms, and tomatoes. The beer, very simple. Pour it. Gotta make sure it's not too low like this, and you also don't want to overflow it or else you will get a bad order as well. Greens and carrots. There's your greens and carrots. Now the salad can be a little confusing because the ingredients says ranch, comma, greens and carrots, and you only need to press 1 key for anything that says A and B when there's no comma in between, which can get kind of confusing. Even to this day, I still mess it up sometimes. And here's our trash. We just gotta lift these 5 trash bags into here. Do some dishes. Oh my. Alright, flush our toilet. Get rid of our rats. That's no good. We don't want rats in our restaurant. Another dry twister. There you go, sir. You should perhaps consider getting a napkin for while you're eating because your shirt is really gross. Now, as you may have noticed already, one thing you can do is while you have another order open and you're preparing it for something, you can press your 1, 2, 3, or 4 ranch, cheese, and everything on it. You can press the item that's done and you can serve it as long as there's no more prepping that it needs to have done. So that way you can save some time and not get overwhelmed with having to prep things and also serve things. So that's a nice plus of this game. And also, as you probably already noticed, there is a rush hour during the lunchtime, and also a rush hour in the evening, which will start at 6 o'clock. And during that time, your buzz isn't really important. It's just basically at 100% the whole time. So you will constantly be busy, and it gets pretty crazy, especially if you're new to the game. And one thing you can do is change any of the key bindings of any of the foods in this game. So if I'm like, mushrooms, oh, I was wrong, that's mushrooms and tomatoes, but there's a comma in between. I guess my system is flawed. Oh, we're at another rush hour again. Anyway, what I was saying is you can change your key bindings. And I have tried to do that in the past because I'm like, M for sausage, this doesn't make sense to me, so I'm gonna change the sausage to S. But then later on, when you upgrade the recipes, sometimes it will be reserving, oh, I messed that up. Sometimes it will be reserving that key binding for something else that when you get the upgrade, you're like, oh man, now I don't know what key binding to give this food item because that also would have been good for that one. So I tend to just leave things as is and just sort of get used to them. And it's worked out pretty well for me, but you know, you do what you gotta do. If you want to change them, feel free to go ahead and do so. The game is pretty flexible with being able to do that. Whew, got ourselves some downtime now. Now this is going to be the only day of a restaurant that I'm going to put on this video. I'd like to keep these relatively short for you guys, and I'm going to skip over some days because sometimes there's not a lot of new things going on. So I'm just going to record the days where we got some new interesting food or we upgrade some equipment because you don't need to see every day. I mean, this game you get into like day 150 or something before you're really officially done. So I'm gonna skip over some of that because considering each day is about 5 minutes, like that could get this into being a really long series, and sometimes there's just not a lot of difference between day 1 and 2. So we are gonna go ahead and wrap the video up at this point. You do get the day complete screen after each day, and you can see how many orders we have served and the tips we've earned. That will come later on, and our positive buzz, our negative buzz. If you do get bad orders, you will get negative buzz, but for the next day we will have some positive buzz. And then there's a checklist of what you need to do to get to the next star of your restaurant. So as you can see, we'll need to complete 20 days of service, 12 perfect combos on 3 separate days, which we got one of those today, buy a certain amount of food, make tips, and looks like we've got 2 things off of our checklist today. So, alright, thanks a lot for watching, and please like this video and subscribe if you enjoyed it. It really helps out the channel, and I will see you next time. Thanks a lot.